Good morning, this is Hooded Wanderer here. I'm going to do this video on the land taking ritual so you guys can see how we do it, and it's pretty straightforward. It's out of the sagas, the Icelandic sagas. For those of you who find this on the Well of Knowledge Facebook page, I'll put the saga name and where you can find it and all that. Otherwise, we'll just jump into this. The way that we do a land taking is you start in the northernmost part of your yard. Okay, so I'm going to go in the far north corner of my yard, and there's a lot of things are required to do this ritual. So I'm going to jump into giving you this long list of everything we need. A lighter. I normally use a Bic lighter, not a Bic lighter, I'm sorry, a Zippo, because Zippos are windproof and they don't blow out, because every time your flame blows out, you have to repeat the saying that we're going to go over here in a second. And also, every time that you have to stop and change direction, you need to repeat the saying we're going to go over right now. Now, there's no hard, fast rule of what you're doing. Who you're talking to is the land wights, or the land betters, nature spirits. And you're entering into a contract with them to let them know that you and your family is going to be living on said property, and you're going to help share the responsibility of taking care of that land and keeping it fertile. And that lets the land wights know you're going to be there and you're going to work with them, and they tend to make things easier for you and nicer. I know when we did our land taking ritual, our land just took off. Flowers we never knew existed, fruit trees growing everywhere. I mean, it really does make a huge difference. I don't know if you'd call it magic, but working with the nature spirits in a positive way definitely makes a big difference on your property. Now, you can do a similar ritual for your house, which we're going to cover in a later video, and or your apartment, and it works the same way, except you're working with your house wights or house vetters. So we're starting off in the north here. Now, I'm just going to come up with a saying that everybody can use. It's like I said, you can come up with your own based on these principles. What we start with is you say that your name, and that you and your family have taken responsibility for this property, and that you want the nature spirits to know that you will be working with them hand in hand to keep this property safe and fertile, and you're taking on the responsibility of sharing that with them. Then you, boom, light your flame. And then you take off walking, keeping your flame lit the whole time. You walk with the hand with the flame is facing to the outer edge of your property, and you keep moving, and if it blows out, you stop and repeat your full name. Me and my family, I've taken responsibility for this property, and we want you to know that we're working we will work hand in hand with you to keep this property safe and fertile, and that we're going to share those responsibilities with you. Boom, relight your flame, take off walking. All right. Now, I got a huge backyard. I'm going to try and make this quick. So, all right, let's just say I've reached a corner. I stop at that corner, turn 90 degrees. My flame is still lit. I repeat that saying, your full name. Me and my family have taken responsibility for this land, and we were going to work with you hand in hand to keep this land fertile and safe, and we're taking on that responsibility to share with you. Boom, take off walking. Now, here's another thing you have to worry about or think about. If you've reached something that you can't get around, like a building, or I'm just going to use this down tree right now, this right here, and I have to stop, and then I'm just going to turn, make sure your flame's still lit. I'm going to repeat that saying, walk until I'm clear, stop, turn, repeat the saying, take off walking again. Then I'm going to get to a spot where, say I've reached the other end of my yard, I'm at another corner. Once you hit the corner, you turn, repeat that saying, take off walking. Okay, with the flame to the outside edge of your property, and as you're going to do this all the way around until you get back to the northern edge where you started, the most farthest northest edge. And when you get there, with your flame still lit, you repeat that saying again. And that way the land wights know the property that you're responsible for, and that you're going to share the responsibility with them to take care of and keep fertile and safe. So that is how you do a land taking ritual. Very simple, very straightforward. And if you use, sorry, Crow Spirit is having fun times with the dogs. If you use a Zippo, remember that they get very, very hot, and make sure if you use something wrapped around it to hold it, that it doesn't catch fire. Now you can use a candle, a torch, which we may get into how to make. That's a little more intermediate survival skills as far as Norse project goes, which we'll have another Norse project here in a second video. But that's it for now. Gotta let you go before one of the dogs gets snake bit.